All right. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Um, breaking news: stocks plunge. Yeah. All right. So, you can tell it's a big morning when the scanner is temporarily unavailable. It means they done broked it, and that's putting it nicely. Yeah. Never what you want to see. I keep clicking and bring it back, bring it back, bring it back, but unfortunately it's broken. Yeah. So here you go. Story of the morning. We talked about it, following the route of PPI, and guess what? It followed the route of PPI. Yeah. So, yeah, not much to say about it. Poor markets. That's all I got to say for today. A couple interesting things on there. I mean, this is obviously one of the big ones right here. Okay, so this is why you're seeing as much movement as we are. And again, it's fully justified. But basically, what they're doing is they're looking at this and they are basically pricing in 2.75s in a row. Yeah, look at this. One of the more than 75 basis points of the current federal funds rates, while one referring to December climbed to 4.5. Yeah. So kind of interesting, right? You see that and you're like, So it wasn't fully in now, but the consensus is now we're going back to back. And like I said, the PPI was one thing. CPI is not the preferred method, but the market does look at it more. And the market's looking at this and saying, yeah, sorry, we're doing 0.75 twice. So kind of crazy. Looking at things like this, core U.S. inflation, remember, the Fed was, Bernard in particular was patting herself on the back, right? Look at the core is what really matters. Okay, so you've been doing what you're doing. And core U.S. inflation rises to a 40-year high. 40-year high. That is insane. There are people that watch a channel that aren't even 40 years old. So, yeah. Not much to say about it besides, sorry, markets. Sorry, markets is about the only thing. It's, I mean, it's not good. Not good. Current administration kind of controlling the Fed, doing what they're doing. Don't really know how to say it any other way. They've had a year of battling inflation with rising interest rates. Nobody listened to Jamie Dimon. Nobody listened to Bullard. And here we are. 40-year highs. 10 months into us seeing new highs, right? And again, are they getting better? No. They're missing all the forecasts. And look at this core. Even core was, 0.6 was kind of high before. They're expected to come down a little bit, still positive. It stayed and maintained. So, yeah, not good stuff. I don't know. I really don't know what to say about it. Not necessarily surprised at the data. But again, locking in that 0.75 to basically this time and the time after. It's going to get interesting. Like I said, it really makes you think, Jamie Dimon, and again, Jamie does not have access to the same data. So he doesn't know what it is ahead of time, but making comments that he sees the market going, potentially another 20% lower. You gotta look back and be like, I mean, I guess Jamie could. I mean, I guess Jamie knows people, right? I guess maybe he did have access. Maybe somebody shared it with him. Even though that would technically be illegal, right? Maybe he knew. But another 20% from where we are right now, looking a little rough. And, I think this is the situation that the Democrats were really not looking for, right? I don't know. This is not what you want. Not what you want. Particularly because, if they're saying that we're not going to get to the bottom or within the next 6 to 9 months is when, we will, be in a recession and things will start looking grim. That puts us into next year. That starts getting involved in the presidential discussion. So, yeah. So again, small one data point over a monthly and a yearly basis, but it has implications that go much, much farther. Here's an interesting one too, right? The yen goes to its lowest. It's not necessarily, yes, it is its lowest versus the dollar, but it's not like, again, the dollar went crazy. Here's the Dixie, right? So the dollar popped, but magically look at the yen. The yen has already not only popped, but came all the way back down to the 46 mark and is already starting to trend back from that parabolic move. So, but if you look at the dollar's kind of just holding firm, right? So again, dollar index is kind of the name of the game today. Arguably so. The indices are getting smoked. 2%, 3%, 1.76, and 2.7 to the downside. Yeah, not great. Tesla down 4%. Yeah, not great. Not great. And again, all the commodities, gold and silver, told you guys to get short yesterday, 1.7, 2.58 down. Even oil, it's like, ooh, this is going to be bad. Oil and natural gas. Natural gas is just barely down. It actually may turn green here in a second. But even oil, looking at that, it's like, oh, this is not good. This is not good. So, yeah, a lot of factors in play. I hate when it does this. It's like, no, give it back to me, please. We'll see what comes out of G20 today, if there's any decent headlines. Unemployment came in more or less exactly as expected. And again, not the unemployment not being, kind of all crazy, right? At this point, I don't know. I guess that the Fed doesn't just do, I don't know. I'm almost curious if they do I don't know. I guess it's too late to do like a 1% jump, but yeah. Yeah, what caused the 1,000 pip movement at 9:20 Eastern time? Well, yeah. It's called big banks, baby. Big banks. So G2, we'll see what we get out of today, or the G20 meetings. We'll see what comes out of that one. And then again, tomorrow morning we have retail sales. And I think the retail sales discussion tomorrow morning is an interesting one for a couple different reasons. One of them being, again, negative and then less than what it was before. Right now, all you're hearing out there is like, oh, nah, we're not in a recession. People are spending lots of money. Yeah, right now, but there's a moment where people are going to be like, nope, I'm done, not spending anything else. There is a pain point. Question is, where is that pain point coming in, and how close are we to that pain point? At this point, with things raising, yeah. So retail sales will be a big number. If these numbers are both deep in the red tomorrow, not going to be a feel good Friday. So, and we'll see what the the consumer sentiment is, the preliminary numbers. And again, I'm curious to see what this one, the expectation, the inflation expectations number is. It was 4.6 last time. We'll see where that goes. But yeah, 40-year high. The Fed's probably not real happy this morning. Yeah, and then other things like this, obviously. On any other day, this would make a big difference. Obviously not today, because the headline number is what's happening in the United States. And other countries are looking at this as well. And, the reason they're looking at it is because of inflation, the United States has to, they have to raise the rate. Well, the problem is the higher the dollar gets, the more it hurts the rest of the world, right? This is one of those problems. Because remember, a lot of things are, paid for, are priced in dollars. Well, if it's expensive for you to, if you have a very weak currency versus dollars, it doesn't do well for you. And then again, a very, very strong dollar, while it sounds great, no country wants to buy anything from us. So like services are really, really bad, right? Anything that we export, not really great, right? Not really the best of, not the best of ways. And again, extremely strong dollar. If there is dirty Russian oil that people can get super, super cheap versus paying, U.S. prices, they absolutely going to do it, especially if their country's in a recession. So, yeah. But again, obviously the uncertainty of energy is weighing on the German economy. Absolutely, without a doubt. Germany's already in recession. We know that. This is an interesting one, too. He predicts U.S. inflation will plummet below 3% next year and warns the Fed rate hikes are courting disaster. I don't think anybody doubts that they're courting disaster. But, with an economic storm brewing, 2023 is going to be a very, very rough year. So I think the consensus is next year is going to suck. By the way, this is pretty funny too. This is one of those ones you make a T-shirt of it. There will be no more U-turns on economic plan, right? The government wants to secure India trade deal, but won't sacrifice the quality of speed. I love that. Hey, we're not going to do any more U-turns, guys. It's not changed. So yeah, love that. Hey, we're not going to change our minds. Yeah, right. You're a politician. You can change your mind. But anyway, I think in the next 24 hours, going to be real interesting. Going to be real painful in the overall markets. Not kind of what traditional investors are looking for. But not much we can do about that. So sorry. But oh well. All right. So with that said, let's just go into charts. It almost feels like a Friday because it's like the doom is just so bad. I mean, will there be buying opportunities? Yeah, there will be. These will retrace as people take profit. People that were smart were able to short these things ahead of time. Yeah. Not much to say. VIX. VIX obviously coming back down. The data is out now, so it should start to roll back down. Right now, VIX is showing a little bit higher, and the reason why is just because everything is so negative. It's a negativity index, obviously. I would expect it to tick back down again as things kind of retrace a little bit. And the reason why is because, again, the initial reaction, is this is horrible. The market had priced a lot of this in, so it's not anything that, like I said, I'm not super surprised by any of it. There are plenty of people out there that were not surprised. And the initial response was get short first, and now everybody that's looking at the news that's trying to short now, the way you stop out the late traders is to obviously raise the price, right? Because they're trying to get in after the move happened, and that's not what you want to do. Going to the Aussie. Obviously, monstrous move. So yesterday morning, we talked about how this level has been broken twice. And again, there's your 3 touches, and it broke. It never gave us a decent pullback, but a smash with news through 62.48, and there's your smash through. Did not go all the way down to our profit target. It may get there, although right now it looks like there are buyers coming back in that we will have a bit of a retracement. Again, this was just news today. It's not the official, the official bump. It just means that it's coming. But a decent move, what do we got? 125 pips. So yesterday we talked about getting short this one because, again, proxy for gold. Gold's not going to have a good day. Gold's down 1.6. So, again, smash through that trade right there. Right now, I kind of want to see where the bottom is. I'm going to bring this across right now. We'll see if we can get down there today. I would expect some type of a retracement back. I don't know if we can eat it all up today, but we'll see. This could potentially be the bottom right here, just by the way that's starting to form, and you have these wicks going higher. So we'll see. I mean, maybe this is impulse, this is correction, and maybe the Fed says something else and drops lower. But I honestly, it would not surprise me at all if the Fed basically says, yeah, I mean, we said, guys, it was going to take a while. The market overreacting, on every little news release. We're not going to do that. We're looking at a bigger picture, which is the right thing because that's exactly what they are doing. We get a bit of a retracement in. So, yeah, we'll see. But I would say if we can get down to 61.37, I think it's a decent bounce. Right now, it looks like we're also putting a bottom in, and we can start retracing back up again, which I do think we will have that come in. And again, I'll drag fibs down. It doesn't necessarily matter as much, but you can see fibs are kind of where that old entry level was anyway. So, yeah, hopefully you guys were able to grab that. Also, yen. So we talked about this being a big level up around the 23.6, and we said that we needed to kind of get more of a local time. Or a more recent time. This is where we were yesterday, and we kind of started smashing up in it, and we're like, all right, listen, that's an area, but we got to adjust it. The 23 was a little bit higher, and you can see that there was a little zone, again, put in just ahead of news. All right there. There's where the zone was put in, and that was basically where the top was. And again, monstrous move to the downside. 160 pips, talked about it, again, getting short before. And you're seeing it retrace. We talked about that news should bring yen strength in. You'll see all the yen pairs started to kind of roll back again very quickly. Again, whether it be an intervention or just, again, because the market's going down. But we've kind of smashed the other side as well. So kind of the same thinking on this one. I'd like to see if this is truly the bottom. I do think we have a retracement back again. And it's 160 pips. I'd kind of like it to pull back down. And if we're unable to go any lower, that's where you pull the trigger. Again, almost one of those green, red, greens, the color confirmations, is really how you have to play this one. And it probably does go back up. Question is, does it come in today? Is the big question. I don't know if we can get all the way back up today, but like I said, always hard after a monstrous move like this. You should be just taking your profit and getting out of the trade right now, right? Not so much, trying to play the reversal on it yet, but we'll see. Again, if we get a little red candle, that gives us at least the setup that we need to retrace. Euro dollar also smashed right to the downside. Again, we were sitting here yesterday. We talked about it just basing sideways and look this bottom level, nothing. Good thing is though, again, we were talking about this area here. So here are the confirmed buyers. All right. Now, again, it's nice that it punched through, meaning that those buyers are going to probably have a little bit more problems. Again, all this did was it ran up right to this level right there. There's your pop. Boom. Right there for news. And again, we were sitting high on there. 830 is this candle. Again, we talked about this one being a short as well. 107 pips down instantly. What? What, buddy? You got a pen? You're chewing on a pen already? Yeah. Oh, come here. There we go. Oh, look at all this stuff here. Take this and this and this. There we go. Move the keyboards. You can't touch it. Here you go. Play with this. So I kind of like where this is. And again, just like the Aussie pairs, this is your impulse as a correction move. If we do get an impulse back down and it is unable to go lower than those buyers, that's where the parabolic retracement is going to come in at. If not, if we come down and start the base, then again, we're looking for 95.60, and that's where we kind of had this trade set up before. The fact that it broke through says we've smashed these buyers in here. There's a few just below it, but that's what we need for the retracement anyway. So again, love it. I still think it's there. This one needs to stay on the radar. This one probably comes in. And we'll see. We'll see what 1030 does, right? The 930 has been setting it up. That reversal should come in. If it continues to push it lower, that's where you get a decent movement on it. Euro pound. Yesterday we talked about Euro pound strength coming back into the markets, being high in the curve. As you can see, there's the profit target, and it kind of bounced around 3 times, the last one being at 2 o'clock. And then it was barely able to hold. It did have a little bit of a pullback, not too much. And we talked about it coming all the way down to 86.41. Now, we came all the way down. Obviously, the German data is, kind of, people aren't loving that one. The pound's comments, every time she talks, it's kind of like, right? So I would say on this one, a lot of the move is already done. The 3 o'clock window is right there. Okay. So you can see what direction the market sent this. The pound strength that we were calling for is here. It already came through. Trade's done. Do we want to reverse off this one? It's probably got a bit of a reversal in it, but I don't necessarily like the zone on that because just the what we're hearing out of the EU. Yesterday's data from the EU we knew was weak, right? Let me see. Pull this across. Probably hit. Yeah, that's what it hit off of. There's not enough room. Trying to see if we could take another short in there, but there's not really enough. Buddy, what'd you do? Here. Here, take this. This one too? There you go. Let's see. Yeah, there's that. Whoop. I had it. All right. I'm gonna remove that one. Yeah, I think we're due for a retracement. I was trying to see if there's any little bit of a hiccup in here, and there's not. I'm almost kind of wondering if it comes down to here. And you see when I bring this down to this lower level here, magically the 23 stopped. So I'm kind of curious to see if this is going to be somewhat of a top, if we continue to push to the downside. And then again, we kind of grind and push down. There's not a short trade there. There's not enough room for it. But I'm wondering if we come back down again, and that could give us a potential turn and roll. Like I said, Pound's in not a great shape. They have a plan. They're going to follow the plan, whether it's good or bad. The EU has made comments about how they don't need as many raises as everybody else because their scenario is different. Yeah, yes and no. Um, I think there's so much uncertainty with the euro right now. It's nice that that's what they believe, but you know, I think a lot of the EU's planning right now is based off kind of the winter averages. Whenever you kind of again, not that you guys know how much I love statistics, but it's one of those things like, oh, we have just enough this winter to survive, right? Just enough because the average. It's like, well, if you only plan for the average, right? Murphy's Law will probably come in there and mess this up for you. I feel like that's what we're seeing right now. Yeah, I mean, gotta love Murphy's Law, right? Good old Murphy. Yeah, I'd say as far as a forecast goes, that's probably what I'm looking at. Yeah, it's probably all we got going on. Want to get down? Here, you want to go sit in your here? Go ahead, go sit in there. Look, you love that toy. Go. Ooh. Oh God, Jin's dollhouse is over here, opened up. He's gonna wreck that. He's gonna wreck shop. All right. Sorry, I was trying to get him on the floor. All right, euro yen. So there's the strength we talked about. Again, yesterday we just chopped through the zone and we hit it, we pulled back, we hit it, we pulled back again, we hit it, we pulled back again. At that point, there's your 3 touches. It's like, yeah, I need to get out. And again, you should have got out of break even. If you didn't, it came all the way down here. We wanted to. You absolutely should put your stop loss to break even. It cranked that level so many times. I mean, what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and number 6 is what broke. So, yeah. And then what happened is we were sitting very, very high, and we talked about seeing yen strengthen all the pairs, and that's exactly what happened. All the way back down again. And now it's just retracing from that move. So, right now with the yen, I'd like to see what happens up top. I'd like to see if this is going to be a true top on that one. If we start to kind of push back over, and again, it is a 61.8, so I mean, there is something in there. There were traders there, although you can see how it chopped back and forth. It really wasn't what they wanted. The 50, it went well beyond at this point, the target that we talked about yesterday. The entry on it, again, wouldn't have necessarily worked for it. Again, it hit so many times, it would have been a stop out at break even. If you had taken like a longer position on it, options base, you were probably fine. Yeah, I'd like to see if this is the top. Like I said, it did have a good formation up there. Yeah, I mean, not much. I'm trying to think. I mean, I can't even get creative on this one. There's no room even to get creative on it right now. We've whipped all this junk out, which is awesome. I would say right now, probably bracketed. You're probably looking at there and there for tops and bottoms. Question is if that holds. If it doesn't, I would say that it's probably here. I would say that this is probably your bracket right there, top and bottom. But I do think that this could potentially roll. Okay, it was a news-based roll, so it's there. Pound dollar. So pound dollar needed the upper level. And we mentioned this yesterday, for news time. You can see the 8 o'clock. At 8 o'clock, or 7:30, spiked right up in that zone and then stopped up at the top at 7:30. So again, easy short on this one. Again, the 50 didn't work, right? I mean, again, you're not going to get in this one beforehand. But I think this is pretty easy. The Europeans telegraph this one. There's your 3 o'clock window, right? Went straight up. The peak on it was at 7:30, 8 o'clock, right before news, and you should have known to get short. Again, we mentioned being short this pair. And 1 to 3 is right there. So again, already out, and now you're seeing the chop back and forth. And the reality of it is, that's where you should have made sure you had profit coming out at, and that's exactly what it bounced off of. So no surprises. This one was literally played like a fiddle. But looking at this, you're seeing a lot more pound strength, right? pound strength coming in. So it's kind of like, and again, that's why this skyrocketed right in. So not much we can do with it right now. I mean, it's literally, I mean, the trade is out. You're done. There's probably, again, there's a bottom there, but how long that lasts, yeah, we'll see. I do like this level down below. Yesterday, and this morning, yesterday we kind of ended up here, right? Here's our 1030, and we maintained, held, and because it took off, probably not a lot there. So I would look at this, and again, maybe we adjust this slightly there to there, just to kind of get the more near-term base of it. And that goes there, and that goes there, and that's 3.09 right there. Okay, something along those lines. Yeah, that's probably all we got on this one. Like I said, trade's done. I hate when the trades are done and it's like, oh, go analyze charts. It's like, oh, it just happened like 30 minutes ago. What do you want me to do? Right there. Okay. Pound yen. So pound yen has pulled back. Here's the level we drew this yesterday. This 165.54, and there we go. And from that, I think this one is done too. Now, of the two, euro yen was the better one to trade. 1 to 3 is right there. So yeah, right there. Right. You can see it's passed. Good thing is I can remove this one because the 780 is finally been tagged. Very similar. The 3 o'clock candle is right there. European sent us straight up. Right now, let's go from top to bottom as far as fibs go because people will start looking at this one. And you can see there's a, pullback in there. Again, that would have been, we wanted to make sure we got out, and it's fine. It's actually beyond, and it touched. Interesting level right here. It is a little bit deep, but I do like that one right there. I would say that's probably the target for today. 163.83. 1, 2, 3, 4 broke. Came that bound was sloppy. I'm just going to remove it right now. But again, Europeans sent it straight up. Let's mark this off here. Again, wedged in between the 50 and 61. People will love that level as well. We'll stick another zone there. And again, overall target. When it finally does break this, I think there's probably, well, there's this here too. That's going to be a problem. Oof, it's 30 pips. It's a bit too much. Right here. Yeah. I'm drawing that pattern on there because from the zone based off the 61.8, when it goes down and stops some people out, there is a small zone there. When it goes back up again, I do think there's a short trade set up in here. So I'll just mark it off now. Well, you know what? Let's bring this lower to there. That's fine. Let's use that. Oops, not orange. I know it's Thanksgiving, but we're not there yet. Hold on one sec. Wait, what? Why am I? What? Hold on one sec. Melissa just sent me a message. I'm trying to decipher what the heck she means. What are you doing, buddy? What are you coughing for? What? Okay, sorry. She was sending me like a benefits thing. And I'm like, what? I don't understand what that is. Anyway, so there's your pound yen kind of set up at this point. I think 2 levels, very, very interesting kind of base rally on that one. Again, 50% is obviously going to be buyers coming in, and there is a level there at 162.73. With a break of that, it is a level on top. I do like the 61.8 level more for short. If we come down base, again, there's your pattern of what it'll look like when it does. I don't know when it will. Tomorrow, next week, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, I don't know. But when it does, if this, then that, 163.83, 160.52. Dollar CAD. So, again, any surprise that dollar CAD took off? Absolutely none. 0. You can see we did nothing but base through, and we were unable to reach those 2 levels. Yesterday, FOMC didn't really provide much, but the CPI really screwed with people today a lot. I would expect this to kind of probably turn and roll back down again. Gold or oil has had to hit, but it is starting to come back again. I think this is probably a decent parabolic retracement. Make sure that you, whoops, not that one. Again, make sure you take profit from this level. I don't see this one being necessarily a major game changer either way. Okay. Down below, we still have an untested level down here. Again, we've seen it once, and it is actually, I guess it is tested. But again, it's an untested setup down below. But yeah, I would say today we literally pull right back into the same zone again, right? And again, this one, we can take it off. It already tagged once, and we don't need it now. Let's bring this all the way up. Oh, look at that. The 50 comes in right where those buyers are at 137.29. So that's always good. Gotta like that. But yeah, parabolic move if you're not already in, maybe a little bit late, but it probably rolls all the way back down again. Dollar Swiss, same thing. Looks exactly the same. We had our consolidating, and actually this one consolidated for much, much longer over to here. And then, boom, took off. Again, dollar going up, not a surprise whatsoever. Let's see. 61. There's going to be drama in there. Kind of a full retrace back again, but I would say watch out for that 99.33. This one I don't like as much. So, but just like dollar CAD, I think this one has a parabolic move. It's going to come all the way back down again. Again, not surprised it popped. It did exactly what it should have done. You know, hard to say anything about it right now because it's already happened. So, and good old dollar yen. So again, dollar yen spiked up, came all the way back down to 146. I mean, it's an awesome candle. Gotta love that candle. It's a 225 pip candle. It opened here. It went really, really far up. It went really, really far down. They came back up and closed. What was the total body on that one? The total body was 7.7 pips, right? Gotta love that. People are looking at this like, what the heck do you do with this one? Right? It's a good trade, right? Nice trade. Hard. I mean, of all of them, I said this is the one I really don't like the yen weakness in as much. I think all the other ones gave us great yen weakness trades. As they saw, they've literally all gone to fruition. This one did spike, but immediately retraced all the way back up again. Again, a 0.75 and a 0.75 is very, very hard to combat. This is the one that, again, you're going to get yen strength with the market crashing, but again, it can't beat dollar strength. So, yeah, I think once all the dust settles on this one, we'll see how much higher it can go. I'll tell you right now, we're at 147, and you may say, well, wait a second. I mean, this one has a daily ATR of 125. If you draw a 125 out, I mean, that goes to here. That is from where we are right now. That's 1 day. Oops. That's 2 days, and we're breaking 150. I'll tell you right now, as much as I feel that, so close. I missed it by just a little bit. Text 150.00. Let's bold that sucker. Let's throw it on the right-hand side. Yeah, we can leave it in red. Red is fine. Red is fine. There we go. I think if we hit 150, I think the BOJ does have to do some type of intervention with it. I don't know if it'll be just a standard BOJ one or if somebody else will get involved as well. Wouldn't be surprised if the dollar does. Because I'll tell you right now, with the dollar taking off, this is not purely a yen weakness trade because we know the dollar is increasing versus everything, as it should. I mean, again, when rich people want to put their money places, again, think about it. If inflation is now starting to peak, right? And over the next year, inflation really goes back down to 2%. Because again, the goal is to only have it increase at 2%, even though they've already jacked the prices on us. If it's only supposed to increase 2%, right now, if you're holding the dollar yen right now, you're able to get almost a 4.5% return on it. You're making 2.5% on your money. It's better than what you're getting in other places. But it means it's extremely expensive for other nations. So I do think that 150, again, it is a very, very large psychological number. I'm assuming that an intervention would come in probably somewhere in here because 150 is too easy of a telegraph. But with it being over a high like this, I do think it has the ability to go higher, but I also think the U.S. or the BOJ will help intervene to help stabilize the yen because the higher that this does get, it is going to start hurting the yen and in not a good way. What are you eating now? What is that? No. What do you got? What are you doing? Yeah, we don't play with staples. You found a box of staples. I don't know where. Anyway, so that's dollar yen. Bitcoin. Obviously, Bitcoin did not have a good morning. And look at this. Look at the drop below. And then again, telltale sign. 8 o'clock. What did it do? It ran right back up. Grab home base right at 19,000. And then came all the way down to 181. Mentioned it yesterday with a dollar. If you're making 4.5% over there and you're making 0 here, people will gladly take the 4.5%. I know the 4.5% doesn't seem like a lot, but when inflation is back under control, 4.5% is much better than 0. You're making 0 here. And everybody says, when the dollar crashes, these will be great. I guess these will be great again. Maybe. I mean, if you think the dollar's going to crash, but until inflation goes anywhere, I mean, sure, I guess. Okay. Here's Ethereum. You can see Ethereum came all the way down to 1155. And again, it's above 12,000 now. We talked about 1300 is a big deal. The fact that we came all the way down to, we broke through the 1200 mark. Ugly. And look at this one. Doji. I mean, again, we're below 60. We were down to 55. 5.5 again in its ever descending kind of channel here. So yeah, not looking great. Bonds. I don't know how to say this any easier, right? This did nothing but rally up in time for the news. Came right back to a gap right there. 101 all the way down to 98. Mentioned it. This is the epitome of a news trade, right? Price pre-positioned for it, and then magically it's like they knew. And then why did it drop? Obviously because bonds have an inverse relationship with interest rates. So again, if you guys don't understand traditional options, this is definitely definitely something that you want to kind of watch out for. All right, easy trade. Let's go to commodities. So oil. So oil had a nice little, I don't want to say nice little pop, but it did have a bit of a retracement yesterday. We were looking for 85, 83, and it just touched it. It touched it this morning. You can see that the window pushed us all the way down, and now we're getting a bit of a retracement. I don't know. Let me see. I don't know the answer to this, to tell you the truth, but let's see. 1 to 3 is right there. So yeah, we did actually have room, and it's actually out already. So again, this is kind of one of those news-based trades. And I said that, you don't typically want to play something like oil, but with a really, with really good CPI news, it's kind of, you expected this to drop. It's like, yep, recession's coming. But at the same time, profit taking comes in as well. So profit taking on this one would have got you your 1 to 3 right off that 85, 83. And actually it was below. I don't know why it was red from yesterday, but probably just talking about the level. But yeah. So oil right now, overall, I would say that oil is probably I would say that obviously we have a bottom in. I would say watch this level right here. This level, we spent all this time basing there, so it was obviously an important level. That's kind of where we're at right now. Because it is a new 23.6, I think you need to watch out for this level at, let's see, 87.61. Again, oil, extremely technically traded. A very, very easy draw from top down to new bottom. And at 23, people are going to look to get in. And again, if I extend this across because I'm drawing it off this confirmed level, it's the 23.6. So if we can rally any higher, I think 87.61 is a decent short. Look for it to come down and grab 85, 83 on the other side. Okay. Natural gas, it's back in the green. Again, lots of chop in this one. Again, we could extend it just a little bit farther down. I guess if we drew it here, technically tagged the 50 and came back up. Very technical traded market. I think right now, again, if you want to use that kind of same level, it's not bad. A little bit of base in there. 655. We've talked about this level before, right? Yeah. I mean, again, natural gas is one of those things. Doesn't matter if you're in a recession or not. You need to heat your home. So, yeah. I don't really have much to say about natural gas today. There was a trade there this morning, and then sit down. Come on, there's no snakes. No snakes. I don't know. The way this looks, it looks like it wants to come down to this 635, but I wouldn't be surprised if we back up. I don't think we have too much movement today. There is an inventory report for natural gas at 10:30. Oil has an inventory report at 11 today. So again, a little bit off when we had those doubles in a day, but yeah, I don't know. Wouldn't be surprised. I don't know what's the. Let me see. What is the forecast? Is this fixed? Yeah, it's fixed. 291. Look at this. 290. Yeah, so much pound movement. Right? Lots of pound movement. Strong here, strong here, strong here. What are we calling for? Where is it? Natural gas. A little bit of down draw. Oh, yeah, he wrecked the Dallas. Here. It's not a horrible storage number. A little bit of a down draw. So, maybe comes down a little bit and then bounces back up. I would say that there's probably not much trade left in that today. Gold, told you guys yesterday, I mean, again, get short. We were looking at a couple levels in here. If you just waited to break through the 1655, and we talked about how this may just smash all the way through, you can see it came down and it smashed all the way through and grabbed the full profit target. Pretty easy trade once again. Europeans did what? Europeans sent it straight up, right? It came back up to a level. You can see that this is the 730 candle. You could say, well, wait a second, is there a risk level in here? You could say, well, wait a second, we got this right here. If you didn't feel comfortable with that, here's your 8. As it pushed down, you're like, yeah, it's going. And then just crashed all the way through. So, again, from yesterday, we said try to get short gold and silver both for the release. And, yeah, at least it gave us a little zone there. And this was a pretty big push to the downside, right? Pretty big push. What was the total amount here? 1 to 8.8. So pretty big trade. You can see the 1 to 3 is only here. So again, if you were looking for the reversal in this one, you would have said, hey, listen, there's a lot of buyers right in this level. That's where your profit was. That's right where the 1 to 3 was. And it just sliced right through that one. So trade's done now. I would say, again, obviously some concerned sellers there. This trade is out. Again, we typically don't play reversals all night, but I bet this one does come back up. I actually wouldn't be surprised if this one kind of comes over and stabilizes back in here around 1665. You can see that was an area of kind of equilibrium before. Again, this is the news. It should rally back a little bit. Again, just for any type of, there's plenty of factors out there. So, I'm not super concerned, but like I said, it is at this point, trade's over, right? Silver's the same exact thing. Silver, again, from a level from yesterday morning, right? As this pulled away the yesterday morning. There you go. Same thing. 730 being the peak. Kind of came in and started the move, and we said get short, and we said that 1859 would be the target. And again, it smashed the target, kind of went right through, and is now basing off that target. So, yeah. Hopefully, you guys got short for both those releases, or for both those pairs. Melissa's coming back to grab Kip. So yeah, the trade's done, unfortunately. So I really can't give you a setup on there. Yesterday's warning was get short, and they're short. What do we got here for Twitter? Twitter, again, floating back and forth. Nice bottom there. Apple, we took a little bit of a bounce off of it in the overnight, but again, you had to assume to get short both these. Kind of the same thing. We hit it, we based in. Again, this is kind of that Harry Potter, right? We came down to a violated level, we based, we came back, and boom, much lower. Unfortunately, today I can tell you none of these really qualify for an opening print setup. Reason why is because, again, with the CPI news, you can see down here that 930 is literally the bottom, right? Am I surprised that's going up? No, not at all, right? And in fact, look, you had your one touch here from the original one here, 1, 2, 3, and then 4 got blown through. So kind of the same thing. The markets, and again, the Europeans, whoops. There's your 3 o'clock start. What did the Europeans do? This is very typical. And again, if you didn't trade this today, but you're like, how did this happen? Easy. Europeans did what? They sent the market higher. Why? Because they were trying to get a more expensive price for the short. There's the short. Now, could this be the bottom? It could be. And you may say, well, wait a second. The data was so bad. Why the heck is it green right now? I mean, it's still red compared to yesterday, but why is the 945 candle up? Well, here's why. Most retail traders know the market opens at 9:30. So they get that data, it comes in here, and they're like, oh, God, and look, it's starting to break to a new low. Look, we touched a new low. What does everybody do? They sell it. All right?
Why? Horrible day, right? I would expect it still ends in the red today. I expect that it does come through and push lower on there, but this initial rally, and again, we're at that 10:15 now is when it should reverse. This entire rally right now is to get all the retail traders out of the market. Because they know that CPI was horrible. They're going to raise 0.75 two times. I'm waiting for 9:30 to pull the trigger. And the second at 9:30 they're hitting those sells, the price goes up on purpose. So, yeah, not necessarily a... oops. Oh, God, I'm getting pop-ups everywhere. I would look for this to turn and roll. Like I said, I don't think either of these two are great. I think the next setup for this one, and again, it may be a similar, a similar piece. And again, if you guys know how to do it on your charts, find the 3:30 or find the 3 o'clock candle in the morning. So what I would say for all the indices right now, and again, all the empty prints are going to be a little off and not in levels. What I would do is look to see what happens tomorrow morning at 3 o'clock. And depending on where we are, and again, I don't know, but the same thing how this went up here at 3 o'clock, look to see what happens tomorrow. I mean, say price is here. If we go up, look for shorts. If we go down, again, we're going to look for longs at the open. All I would say is people are probably at this point a little bit overly negative. Oops. Uh-oh. Where did it go? Okay, sorry. I was like, oh God, I lost it. I hit one of the things to pull up a different thing, and it minimized everything. Anyway, I think we have the same type of telltale sign. What we have right here, I think, is what we could have potentially right here. Right? I think that's what we're in line for. So, same action, same look. NQ, same exact thing. You can see NQ yesterday. Wow, look at that. It came right up and it touched 1100 or 11,000. So we had talked about some basing, same thing. Again, there's your 3 o'clock window. What did they do? It went from here, it went straight up, and the peak of this one was at 8:15. I mean, they literally got it all the way up right before news. It's like, how do we make this as expensive as possible? And then the big crash down, and where was the reversal? Right at the 9:30 candle in the morning to stop out everybody that got into the trade late. So kind of the same thinking, the same action we have here. Look for the same thing to occur. I mean, again, I don't know where it's going to be, right? Right there. Because probably, I'm assuming down over here somewhere. But kind of the same action tomorrow for retail sales. As far as opening print goes, I wouldn't have traded it. You were just taking yourself out on profit. I would assume the long, but nothing that, it's just not a surprising piece to it. YM, same exact thing. YM did go higher, and actually YM, look at it. YM grabbed this little confirm level right here, right? But same idea, right? Where was the low in the overnight? Right at 3 o'clock. They sent it straight up. And again, they touched the zone at 7:30, and then right at 8:15, before the news, magically they touched it, and the candle ended red. Like, look, they went just a little bit higher to grab that level, didn't hit the 50, and the big crash. So same thinking as well. What happens here? Again, look for it to happen. I'll draw it there. Right? Look for something similar to happen there. Okay? Now, will it be as big of a one? No, but I do think retail sales is in actuality, I think retail sales has the ability to more do one of these. Right? I think retail sales has more of the ability to do this tomorrow than this. Again, this is for interest rates down. If retail sales is still positive when they're expected to be negative, the people are still spending money, maybe we get the pop, right? Or, I'm sorry, if retail sales is really, really negative, meaning people aren't spending money, maybe that gives us the ability to, again, the Fed, put it this way, the Fed doesn't care one way or the other. The Fed is going to raise interest rates. It doesn't really matter what retail sales is, but the reality is everybody says we're not in a recession because people are spending money. If tomorrow... let's get rid of this. If people are suddenly not spending the money, if this comes in and they're both red negative, it's not going to change. It's not going to change anything for the Fed. But here you go. Hey, fighting global inflation is his top priority. So hunger, the Ukraine, none of those things are Biden's top priority, right? His top priority is only fighting inflation. So
It just goes to show you that, again, his speechwriter is not very good. Send in the clowns. Right. And this is why he should not be the president. Sorry if that pisses you off, but again, his top priority is fighting global inflation, but he's done everything to help global inflation. Yeah. Yeah. Way to go. Glad that we have a guy that has zero understanding of the markets, but it is what it is. Russell, same thing. Russell ended up going a little bit higher. So Russell, for you fib traders, Russell actually did get up, and you did actually get into the 50. You can see the basing was at the level we marked off yesterday, but same thing. You're waiting to the release, and what happened? 8:30, 9:30, right back up again, and then starting to roll back down again. So I'm not going to draw the picture again. It's going to be probably the exact same picture. Look to see what the Europeans do from 3 to 8. You don't have to wake up to be able to trade that one in the morning. All you got to do is wait. All you got to do is look at 8 o'clock. What did the markets do? How did they pre-position for the news? And that's typically how you trade it. If you can trade it in a limited risk environment through futures, whether it be traditional options or through Nadex or something like a Nadex, you can trade that. Watch Nadex. It's gonna be jacked up with premium, unfortunately. I guess as their volume is lower, they're making their spreads wider. But look for, again, that traditional option aspect of things. Works perfectly fine as well, guys. Works perfectly fine. Or, you could do it in futures, but there's a lot more risk in futures. All right. So yeah, you may even want to grab something cheap tonight. Remember, it doesn't move a ton in the overnight, right? You could set a limit order right up top. But there's a number of ways you can get into something end of day today. Again, with an option, get something cheap, get something a little out of the money, makes it a little bit, more beneficial. And depending on your duration, even if you're wrong, you still have time for it to come back again, or you can just close it down. So you got a lot of different options, that kind of stuff. Literally. Let's see, Tesla's it rallied and now is already coming back down to the lows. Yeah, Apple is. They're almost all the same when you look at them. Twitter, no, but Twitter's different. Yeah, look, see how it's already starting to turn and roll back down. Yeah, so we'll see. We'll see if this is a new bottom. Again, 1030 is where we want to see it. So, again, retail sales, extremely big. We're going to see a bunch of different headlines now. It's so funny. He doesn't learn. This is exactly what he said last time, that it was top priority, and a lot of other people were like, excuse me, what? And he goes, no, it's my top, it's my top financial priority, right? He had to go back and change his statement around, but... And the reason why it's his top global inflation, if it's his top priority right now, is because we're at a 40-year high. He basically knows that if the 40-year high doesn't get fixed quick, he stands zero chance of getting reelected. Because in the last year, you can't blame a year of policy on the previous guy. Unfortunately, it doesn't work that way. You got about a year that you can blame everything on the previous guy. You can't do it now. Oh, what is this? I missed this one. Oh, there you go. The Biden administration, they think it's going to backfire. It will. So, oh, wait, look at that. Go back. I love these pictures. Look at this picture. He's like, yeah, it's going to backfire. I can tell you right now. The price cut's going to backfire. All you're going to do is strengthen all our enemies. So, yeah. So, that's it. Oh, what is this one? Oh, mini budget. The mini budget will be scrapped. The UK is in shambles. Anybody that's logging in from London, I feel bad for you guys. I'm sorry. It gets hard over there. Yeah. The UK is just totally confused. So, I don't know. All right, let's go ahead and do the drawing for today. So, Neuro won yesterday. He stopped Ernest's streak. We'll see how it works out today. As I said, it's kind of an arms race to keep betting more and more. Hopefully he doesn't fix it then. He's not going to fix it. Unfortunately, his policies are just not, put it this way. When Saudi Arabia basically tells you to pound sand, our closest ally in the Middle East, it's not something you want, right? And you think about it, we can put price caps on Russia all we want, but, yes, we buy a lot of gas, but if you look to see, population, where people are, go look on it, right? Two of the countries that have been working very, very closely with Russia and are securing more gas, India and China. They got a lot more people than we have, right? So, it's gonna Gonna get rough. Gonna get rough. But yeah, the policies are, yeah, not beneficial. We should have never have given OPEC power back, and we did. And now they are just raking us all over the coals. So anyway, let's see. We got a 50-50 chance. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nice. We have 5 single ticketers and then 2 5s. So 33% chance of winning. Is it going to be the 1 ticket group, or is it going to be the evil empire, the Axis and ally powers down here with Nero and Nadex? All right. 1, 2, 3. Eki. Eki, what are you doing, Eki? Eki, it's not Friday. What are you doing, my friend? It's the 1 ticketers that did it today. I'm telling you right now, Eki has been playing the spoiler lately, right? Eki has stolen a couple of them. Right? I don't know what's going on over here, but, Eki's, coming around. Right? Eki is coming around. He's like, sorry. My bad. You're not sorry. It's okay to be not sorry. It's okay. Don't worry about it. And don't be sorry. It's a lot of win. It's called the odds, So anyway, here's an interesting one. What do they got to say? It's only effective for a short period, but that's all people need. Focus the weekly attends a short period. Yeah. Salary to monetary process and other kinds. Got it. Thanks. All right. So with that said, I'm out of here. I'll catch you guys tomorrow morning. As I said, there's going to probably be some news that we're going to have some movement tomorrow morning. I'm kind of hoping we get really, 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 really crappy retail sales numbers, not because I want negativity, but I feel like that will boost the market. It's artificial. It's not going to make any difference in the world. It's not going to change anything. But it will give us some trading opportunity, which I think would be fun. All right. So with that said, I'm out of here. Good trading today. If you need anything, message me on Discord, and I'll catch you tomorrow morning. Take care.